Huh?
Go. Nope.
My name is Steve. I've known George for, I don't know, 30, 35 years. You want stories about George? I got the goods. One story that I can tell is, I think he was a relatively new Pace bus driver. And I believe he was doing a 290 route, which is, for you that don't know, goes down Toohey Avenue, basically. And one day he's at a stoplight, and of course George is always looking around, and he sees this piece of paper blow across the road. And he hesitates for a minute, and he looks closer and he says, "Damn, that's money!" So he puts the air brake on, opens the door, hops out of the bus. Now there's people on the bus. Okay, they're at a stoplight. Well, just like with the Three Stooges, as soon as he goes and grabs the money, the wind blows it 5 more feet. So he walks 5 more feet, reaches for the money, the wind takes it again. Thank God there was a chain link fence there. Now, mind you, all this time he's also got one eye on the stop and go light, because if that thing changes, he's going to have a mutiny on the bus. Where's the driver? He's out chasing money. Well, the wind finally blows the money up against the chain link fence. He gets it. Looks, oh my God, it's a yellow light. He runs toward the bus, hops in his chair, and just as soon as he hits the seat, the light turns green. Everything's wonderful, and he gets a round of applause from all the people on the bus. And it turns out, I believe, to be a $20 bill. You want another story?
Yeah.
Do tell.
Those that have known George for a while know that before he was a Pace bus driver, he used to work for a company called UARCO as a repairman. The guy's a genius. I'm telling you, he can fix anything with what he has on hand. And that includes cars.
Yep.
Well, he used to have this, he loved to drive Suburbans. And one day we were talking, I was over at his house and we were talking, he said, "Hey, you know, would you like to buy this Suburban from me?" Well, it looked like a battleship. It was all gray, and it had this, best way I can put it is a wing on top of it. Actually, it was a piece of plywood. And the reason for that is because when he would go to repair equipment, he would take his beloved German Shepherds with him. And they got too hot in the car during the summer. So he did that to block the sun. Well, that's great for him, but if you'd see the car going down the street, you would think, wow, this is really something. So I said, sure. And, you know, I don't know, exchanged some money. And one day something happened to it. I can't remember exactly what it was. So I took it over to, I'm sure I talked to George, but maybe he was working at the time or something. So I took it to my mechanic and he says, "Okay, pop the hood." And I popped the hood, and the guy looked at it, and he just shook his head and he said, "Put the hood down." Well, George, if you know him, he knows how to modify stuff to make it work. Well, this thing had an air cleaner with about 25 holes drilled in it. It had wire all over the place. The mechanic had no idea. He said, "I have no idea what's going on here. How does this thing run?" Take it back to wherever you got it. So that shows you a little about how George how his mind works, and how he just modifies stuff, and it's fantastic. The last story I have, I think it's a doozy. I think it's the best story. The way I met George was through another fella who I used to work with before Pace. And he's no longer with us, unfortunately, passed away a couple years ago. But he used to live in Des Plaines on a dead-end street. He had a little ranch house with a big picture window. So one night, George says, "I'm going to have some fun." So
How much fun was it, George?
For those of you who can remember prior to cable TV, there was this, what was that called, George?
On TV.
On TV, okay. So, George grabs his remote, heads over to John's house, and there's John sitting on the couch watching his On TV. Well, here comes George sneaking up behind with his remote, and whoop,
I was outside.
he was outside, through the picture window, the channel automatically changes. John has this remote in his hand, and so he hits it again, gets his TV show back on, and as soon as he does that, George goes, boop, the thing changes again. Well, poor John, he's looking at what's going on here. There's something wrong with this remote. Well, this goes on about 5 or 6 times. George is out there outside changing the channel through the picture window, and John's trying to figure out what's going on. Well, finally, he goes inside and says, "Well, it was me outside." But it just shows George's sense of humor. So, George, it's great to have you for a friend. I've enjoyed the past 30, 35 years. Many more. And happy birthday to a great guy.
Hi, everybody. My name's Richard. Hi, how you doing? Happy birthday, George. I'm done.
Thank you, Richard.
Hi, it's Valerie again. I just wanted to say happy birthday to you, even though you don't know me. So happy birthday.
Thank you.